Risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 129. I'm your man behind the microphone, Scholar Jeff. To my right is Scholar Tarek. What's up, sir?
I tried to think of something very clever to say, as I always do, but I can't think of anything, so I'll just say, hello.
Such is the summary of my life every single day of it.
Yeah, right?
And to my left is Scholar Brian. What's up, sir?
I'm not dying this week, so it's automatically a good week.
There we go, perspective.
That's one way to look at it. Hey, we did not die. I consider this day a success.
Indeed.
There we go. So, in the spirit of all this happiness, let's dive right into the most pertinent subjects of the week. Let's go into a little bit of backstage news.
Indeed. Let us go peek behind the counter and strangely recall that is the master of douche that's bringing on the positivity this week. But also check in on a little backstage news. Man.
At least it wasn't ear splitting this week.
Man! Damn it, he did pull out the second one.
Why?
A, because
I missed a week.
Yeah. A, he missed a week. B, you had to say something.
Oh, my naive self.
Just don't encourage him.
I was gonna let it go.
You had to encourage him.
I was gonna let it go. But he said it, so it had to happen.
And like I
Pardon
said,
my thoughtlessness.
He's the one that's bringing the positivity to us this week.
Well, you know what? I think we're going to need it because we lost a good one this week. This week we had to say goodbye to Mr. Fuji, of all people.
I liked their video package.
Yes, it was very touching. And I'll be honest, when I started watching wrestling when I was about 8 years old, I started watching with WCW, so I had really missed the prime of Mr. Fuji. For a while there, I didn't even know he was an active wrestler for a good long while.
And just from the video package to the one internet meme from Mean Gene Okerlund, cheap plug, of the great man and his manager are reunited once again with him and Yokozuna.
Oh, yeah. That's the big thing that most people remember about Mr. Fuji is when he was managing Yokozuna, and I'm speechless when talking about this guy. He's one of the best managers of all time, and he brought a lot of people.
He was full of charisma, very much.
Full of charisma, and it actually sickens me that in there was a magazine, Pro Wrestling Magazine or something like that had him as like the worst manager for 12 years running. I'm like, what are you on?
I actually read that one myself. It was right before his death too.
Ooh.
Yeah, they were posted about it. I'm like, oh my god, he really wasn't bad, not at all.
He wasn't, and
it just cracked me up with the video package that I'm showing when Yokozuna won against Bret Hart at WrestleMania. I was like, too bad you can't play the rest of that clip with Hulk Hogan ruining the show there.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to ruin the moment.
We didn't want to ruin the moment with that.
Yeah, except the one thing I was reminded of, honestly, was how well he threw that salt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you wouldn't think he would be able to throw salt that well.
He never missed. When he threw salt at his opponent, he never missed. Always straight in the eyeballs.
Oh boy.
And they also showed the one program he did when he was like doing all the spoofs of all the classic TV shows.
Yeah, well,
what were they called?
Was it like Fuji Vice or something like that?
Fuji Vice was one of them. But I'm just like, oh my god, I actually totally forgot about those.
I never knew, because I wasn't watching. I was a WCW kid at the time. I wasn't watching any of this. Oh boy.
Well, he definitely lasted. He definitely made an impact in the world of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, one of the best managers of all time, and now he and Yokozuna can go dominate the
afterlife,
the afterlife edition of WWE.
Yeah, now they can throw salt in the eyes of Roddy Piper and crew.
Are you kidding? They'll probably bring Roddy Piper in.
Oh yeah, wrestling in heaven has got to be amazing.
Oh yeah,
what you have right now, absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's wild. It's gonna be wild.
We'll just say he threw the salt at Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, in that case, rest in peace, Mr. Fuji. Hopefully we'll see you down the road very soon. Well,
You were one of the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares what that magazine said?
Mm-hmm. It's just a magazine. So you know what? I could go for a burger. How about you guys?
I already had a good case of White Castle burgers myself.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say I already had a good burger.
Welcome
That was
to
actually a good one.
burger.
That actually was
the good burger. Can I take your order?
Well, hey,
Yeah,
after that little bit of a downer thing, I think we need a little bit of levity here.
Oh, God.
When was this announced? I saw this in
Just
your
a-
notes, and I'm just like, I haven't heard anything about
This
a Balor burger.
This was just a neat little thing I came across on my Twitter feed the other day, maybe a couple days ago.
Okay.
Apparently, there is a hamburger chain in Ireland called Box Burger, and because of Finn Balor being from the country, obviously being a native countryman, they came up with something they called the Balor Burger.
As a limited time thing, or as an actual on the menu permanently?
I don't know.
It's actually a catchy name, though. The Balor Burger.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it actually does sound pretty good too.
What's on this Balor Burger?
It's made with braised pork shoulder, chipotle barbecue sauce, cheese, and mango slaw.
And the tears of Finn Balor himself.
And yes.
Of the Demon King Finn Balor himself.
Actually, when he retweeted it, he was just like, when he looked over the list of things, it was like, okay, chipotle barbecue sauce, cheese, braised pork shoulder. Shoulder? Really? Really, guys? And then they tweeted back to him, was like, "That we assure you that's purely coincidental."
Sure. Clever.
Yeah, that's a
Perfect
great
timing.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh man! But either way, there's photos of it on Twitter. I just recently.
Now he has to go to
retweeted it.
Ireland. He needs to go to Ireland and just have a picture with him holding one.
Yeah, well, if he's gonna be recuperating for a bit,
Why the hell not?
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can pull up that tweet again. In the meantime,
Thank you for.
I'd be
I know,
down
my
for a
shoulders
Balor Burger.
Yes, I know. My shoulder is hurting. Thank you for reminding me.
Thank you for reminding me. Anywho, apparently, your boy Alberto Del Rio is pretty much done with WWE at this
Oh,
point.
excuse me?
Oh.
He is anything but my boy.
This is upsetting to the grandest extreme. You should see the smirk on my face right now.
Oh, now I see the smirk. As you were saying that, I'm like, Brian, you are not smirking. Okay, there it is. But honestly,
Sarcasm supreme over
to
here.
respond to what you're saying, fool, how he is my boy, sir, go enjoy Lucha Underground.
Yeah, apparently, now that all this stuff is sort of going down very, very fast, the more details we're learning about why he even came back in the first place.
Because, Mex America.
Yeah, that was, believe me, it was an afterthought.
Let me tell you why he came back. Money!
That and apparently a main event push, which he did not
Never
get.
got.
He never got because...
Because, hell, when it comes to Vince McMahon, from Ryback... he is just promising main event pushes for them and just saying, nope.
I bet you that the Sheamus spot was supposed to be Alberto Del Rio's.
You mean for the League of Nations?
Yeah,
I thought it was confirmed that...
when he won the
Yeah.
title. When Sheamus won the title, I bet you that was supposed to be Del Rio.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
All of
there
that.
was some talk that was supposed to... it actually was supposed to be him, but he didn't get that either.
He didn't
he
get
got
that
the-
either
He got the U.S. title
because
instead.
he returned, and his return was lackluster at best. As I've always said, the wrestling ability is there. Okay, the personality was there at the beginning in his first run when he was doing, but you already knew that.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they took that away from him, okay, he was just a cookie cutter Mexican wrestler.
Hell, when they took away Ricardo Rodriguez as his ring announcer,
Yeah.
That was when he started losing because, that was the only lack of charisma he had. And who did he go with? Yeah, he went with RVD. Because, logic.
Logic. They both smoke.
They both like that Mary Jane, don't they?
Boy.
Well, apparently that's what they got him and Paige suspended. So, yeah. Yay for the redhead.
Yeah. Plus, so apparently he's also got a massive downside anyway, something like $1.5 million.
Well, yeah,
and that's like a minimum that he can make.
Yeah, this is...
It's bad when they actually start pointing it out on TV that you are just completely useless. It's like, you're not even on the SummerSlam card. Why are you here?
Yeah.
You dumbass.
It's like
to get paid, Pero.
Now
and to steal Paige from all of us.
Now the question is Paige going to leave with him?
Yes. I think so.
I'm on the fence about that. It depends on how they use her.
Well, what were they doing with her anyway? Even before...
Not much, but with the brand split, that could be the catalyst that can really depending on where she goes. I don't even know what brand she's on at the moment.
She was on no brand.
There you go. She could have been put anywhere, and that would have increased her likelihood of getting some TV time.
Honestly, I see her walking out the door with Del Rio. I hate to say it. I want her to stay.
Yeah, she's got so much more to offer, but hey, if they're not going to use her for whatever weird reason, then what are you going to do? It's dumb.
It is. And she was one of the good ones. And that's what's heartbreaking about it more. Mm-hmm. So put her on if she stays, put her on SmackDown.
I know, this would be like the perfect time for her.
Oh yeah.
Considering what they got on the women's SmackDown card anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
All of your favorites, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. All of my favorites and all of the ones WWE hates.
See, the only ones I don't like on the SmackDown Divas roster are the obvious. Eva Marie, and even though she has her uses for me, Nikki Bella can go too. But the other five, I'm like, I could watch you. I mean, Carmella's a little meh at this point, but Alexa Bliss is great.
Mm-hmm.
You got Becky Lynch, Naomi's always been good, and Natalya. So I'm like, you put those four in there, fine.
This just shows you, this conversation where it's going right now just shows you how much we care about Alberto Del Rio. None at all.
But you know what? I want to care. It's just the restrictions that they put on Del Rio while under the WWE banner that really inhibit him.
Yeah, because you watch him in Mexico and you're like, hey,
this guy's good.
But then he comes to the WWE and they have him do his WWE personality again, and it's like, no,
WWE moves, and it's ridiculous.
Go away.
It's a joke. So whatever. Del Rio, get that money. Go back to Lucha Underground.
Go back to Mexico, buddy. You were making better money there, and you were doing better wrestling.
Yeah, and we all know it. So, Godspeed, Alberto Del Rio.
I will not miss you at all.
At least not in WWE style.
I won't miss you at all.
Well, on the side note, I finally dug up a picture of that Balor burger.
That actually does look delicious.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a minimal amount of slaw in that sucker, but it looks pretty darn good.
Oh, Jesus. That thing's huge.
That's what she said.
She's a whore.
She's a whore.
She is a big whore.
And the answer
She's a Bella.
Oh! Sorry, Bella fans.
I'm not. I am not at all apologizing to anybody who calls himself a Bella fan.
Well, in the meantime, to answer your other question, apparently the Balor burger is on the menu at Box Burger for 2 weeks only.
Okay.
So yes, it is a temporary thing. So
boo.
Still more important. Still a more interesting story than Alberto Del Rio leaving.
Certainly more of a delicious one.
Indeed.
So
I could rip on him all day.
I'm sure you could. But in the meantime, speaking of quality entertainment, there have been a series of documentaries on CM Punk's training regimen for MMA lately. Have you guys seen this?
Nope.
I know that they're there.
Exactly.
I have not had time to actually sit down and watch them. But it still doesn't change the fact that it's cool that he's training. It's cool that the fight is finally coming up.
And it's cool that he actually is taking it seriously.
Yeah, he's taking it seriously. But all the bullshit that's been going on the past year and a half, him signing a contract. Oh, I have to have surgery. I can't do the fight 3 days after signing the contract. It's soured me on his UFC run in general. So it's like, yeah, it's cool that he's taking it seriously. It's cool that the fight is coming up, but it's like I'm not as excited as I was at the beginning. It's like, instead of it's happening, like The Office style. It's happening. It's happening. No, it's one of those. Oh, it's finally happening. Oh, okay.
Well, you better live up to the hype, sir.
Well, you know what? I've sort of felt the same way too, until I actually started watching this documentary, and it sort of got me into it again.
Honestly, I'll watch the documentary after I watch the fight. That's how I look at it. Once he actually has his first fight, then I'll look into the documentary and see what he did to prepare for it.
And it's one of those, if he loses the fight, you don't even have to.
Well, then again, it's also a good chunk of it is also just like bunch of slice of life segments from how he's living right now, and you get to see AJ for the first time in what feels like years at this point. Get to see what he's up.
Even though she only retired like 2 years ago.
I know. Well, technically it was still years, so that's the right terminology. Yeah. So I personally found it very interesting, and as someone who enjoys documentaries, it's basic fare. As far as his training regimen, I'm not sure how much of this stuff is just played up a bit just to see how well so we see his progress more, so that I think the last episode is maybe coming out next week, right before the fight, so maybe we'll see a little bit more. But yeah, this is getting me hyped, and I'm actually saw from this a little bit more of Mickey Gall, who's looking pretty impressive too. Not that I know much about MMA, but
I'll just end it with this. I really hope he comes out to Cult of Personality.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, if he doesn't, it's Cult of Personality is CM Punk. Whether I like the guy or not, it's him to a T. If he doesn't come out the Cult of Personality, I'm not watching CM Punk fighting.
It's not CM Punk without the Cult of Personality.
It's not. It's Phil Brooks. I don't want to watch Phil Brooks fight. I want to watch CM Punk fight. That's it.
Which is kind of the whole reason they're even UFC is even looking into this whole thing. So
yeah, so
it's got to happen.
Cult of Personality has to be a theme song coming out. If not, it's not CM Punk fighting.
If not, it's already a bust.
Yeah, it's already done.
You failed me.
Yeah.
You failed us, Punk. Please come out to Cult of Personality.
Oh, believe me, his fight's not from the time of this recording. It's like 2 weeks away. Yeah. So we don't have much more time to wait. It's been long enough. I'm still excited about it. I don't care what anyone else says. So good luck to you, Punk. I know luck is for losers. Blah blah blah. But you know what I mean. Go get him. In the meantime, some people just need to go up and stay gone. Speaking of people leaving. Which brings us to TNA. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, Dixie Carter is officially gone from TNA, and Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins is the new owner of TNA now.
Well, Billy Corgan became the owner like a couple weeks ago. Last month, actually.
It's one of those things, like...
I know before it was phased out, but then now it's like complete.
I love the fact that Billy Corgan finally gets to own a wrestling promotion. He's been trying for years and years and years to own a wrestling promotion. He's been I think he's been on the writing team for TNA.
Yes, he has.
He's been doing that. So it only makes sense that he'd try to buy TNA. But it's one of those, for me, it sucks that I have to say this, but other than the final deletion that they've been doing and the whole broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero thing that they've been doing, it might be, I'm sad to say it, but I mean, it might be too little too late.
And that's what a lot of people are saying as well, that he's just inheriting too much of a unprofitable mess that it's just basically on life support now.
Because Dixie Carter ran this company into the ground, just like Vince Russo and Eric Bischoff did WCW. They ran it into the ground, and this is on a smaller scale. That, like, they're pulling out the big guns with their best storyline in years with this broken Matt Hardy and Brother Nero thing.
And I don't even think that's very good.
Exactly. So it's
like, that may be their best thing, but after I watched it again, because when they announced that they're doing a second one, I watched it again. I'm like, is this even worth it? And no, it really isn't. It's just, I'm like, why was this so good? Why was this good to people? Is it just because it was just so over the top ridiculous?
Yes. I think it's because it's something that you haven't seen before.
Nor do I want to see again.
It's so the Sharknado of wrestling.
So everyone's going crazy about it. It's like, oh, something new, something creative. Even if it's not good, something creative that we've never seen before. And then a week later, the WWE does it. So it's like,
that's why it made me cry when our boy Aaron Rex signed on for, if you don't know, it's Damian Sandow, people.
I'm just happy he's on TV again.
I'm happy he's on TV again. It's just like he jumped onto a sinking ship.
Yeah, it's one of those. Dixie Carter ran it into the ground.
Have him be
she's getting out. She's getting out while she still can. She's putting it in the hands of Billy Corgan, who's wanted to run a wrestling promotion for God knows how long, has been on the writing team of TNA. It's a good fit, but for me, it's too little too late.
Hell, it was even bad when WWE, who could have used that opportunity to help push AJ Styles, like push out where he was in the past, what made him a big name where he is today. But no, it's like, yeah, he may have had most of his career in TNA, but we'll just focus on the Ring of Honor, New Japan stuff. Because, nobody gives a shit about TNA.
TNA just totally dismantling all their talent.
Whatever the hell they want to be called these days.
Whatever. It's still TNA and everybody knows it. But enough of some dying company's missteps. Let's talk about some good things this week in wrestling. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw, shall we?
Let's just talk about the one thing that everybody's been talking about this week.
Cesaro's apparent injury. Yes, let's talk about that.
Actually, you know what? That wasn't what I was going for, but okay. Yeah, quote, apparent injury. Because if you look at it again, he landed ass first on that turnbuckle, not his back. Screw you. And even playing it slow motion, I'm like, you people think we're stupid, aren't you? My God.
If anything, he broke his tailbone.
But yeah, bullshit. They're just pushing the whole, like, him pulling an underdog win with Sheamus.
Because
it's gonna be 3-0, and he's gonna be a clean sweep right after that. Which, don't get me wrong, I love that because I love Cesaro.
But it's predictable.
It's predictable, yes, and hopefully, with what people are saying, this will get him a championship opportunity in the future. Finally, giving them something worth fighting for. There you go.
There you go.
Now having this best of 7 means something other than just clash of the egos.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're gonna go 3-0. Probably have him lose by count out the next one. Because like pin, submission, count out. There. Now, clean sweep after that. Yay! But that's not what I was talking about. Let's talk about...
I know, I was just making a joke. I knew you were just going... Well, you wanted to mention a little something about that. But yeah.
I'm wearing this shirt for a reason.
Yeah, this one, I honestly did not see us coming.
I did.
But...
Well, not the way it happened, but I did count the result.
After Finn Balor won, I figured that they wanted new blood in the title scene, holding the title. So I was like, if they really wanted to, it's the new era, right? They're setting up the new era. They're setting up new people in the title scene. They tried Finn Balor, but he got hurt, as these things go. So who would fit the bill? You can't go Big Cass, because he did great in the match. He did great in the build-up.
I love the opening promo or the opening segment that they did. Is like Big Cass calling out Seth Rollins' penis.
Yeah, yeah.
That was slick on his part.
Big Cass was awesome the entire night.
Oh, the best was the meme reactions. Like, I'm gonna jam the mic down your 7-foot throat, and you just see Big Cass going, "Ooh!" And I'm like, that's gonna be a meme. And when 20 minutes later, it was a meme.
Yeah, so
I'm like, Big Cass is just on fire. Actually, him and Kevin Owens were on fire that opening segment.
And you knew once Roman Reigns was standing tall at the beginning of that first segment, okay, he's not winning. I thought that Rusev was going to come down and like take him out.
Well, once they said the entire roster is banned, we're just like, okay, hopefully this will be a clean victory. But no, someone who is not on the active roster decided to show up.
And Triple H comes back, pedigrees Reigns, which is something that you would expect because they had that feud going into WrestleMania. Roman Reigns beat him. You don't see him again for months. And so he comes back, gets his quote-unquote revenge on Roman Reigns, and then you think that him and Rollins are teaming up again, but he took way too long in the build-up for Kevin Owens. So, and they've been wanting a Triple H versus Seth Rollins feud.
Hell, we've been talking about a Triple H versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania.
So he's lifting up Kevin Owens, and I turn to my roommate and say, I'm like, he's got a pedigree Rollins. He's got
And then as soon as Triple H turns around and pedigrees Rollins, the entire world went apeshit.
And Kevin Owens, great acting.
Greatest reaction ever.
Greatest reaction.
He was like,
What?
Oh my god! This is really happening.
He pins him while still looking bug-eyed with his mouth open at Triple H, and then he doesn't even realize.
Oh, stop it!
He doesn't even realize what happened. He doesn't even realize that he just won because for about a minute after that, he's still just staring at Triple H. What the hell just happened?
Did this really happen? Which led both myself and others to sort of wonder if maybe only certain people were told about the finish to make sure the reaction was genuine.
Yeah, they knew. Kevin Owens was told, you're winning. But they didn't say how. One of those. I could see that happening. I don't think that they would go into that match without
cold turkey.
Without knowing who the winner's gonna be, and knowing the order of the eliminations. I'm sure they knew in the. I think that Reigns and Rollins obviously knew what was going down. Okay, Big Cass just knew he was going out first.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see where people are coming from, where Kevin Owens goes into the thing knowing he's winning, but they were like, "Don't worry about coming." I could see them going, "Don't worry about coming up with a finish. We got you."
Yeah, or something like, "Yeah, you'll know the finish when it happens.
You'll know the finish when you see it." That's it.
Well, it was one hell of a finish. I jumped out screaming like a little girl. As soon as Rollins got the pedigree, I'm like, "Oh my god, he's gonna win it! Oh my god, he's gonna win it!" And yeah, he won it.
And
I marked out.
The crowd went nuts
I went nuts. The world went nuts.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And then you had people shedding on it the next day, like he didn't win clean. Triple H did it for him.
Who gives a shit?
And
doesn't
fuck
matter.
you, Vince Russo. Moving on.
That's it. Yeah, we don't need to talk about that at all.
No, I'm just throwing it out there, and now we move on. That's it.
Yeah, we'll just moving on. All that matters is that in the end, we have Kevin Owens, Universal Champion.
Wow!
Finally, yes. This
After
is exactly
hearing
what
all
needs
the shit talked about him the last year from people in the back, like Kevin Dunn and them, like you never thought it would actually happen, and then it does, and you're like, in the back of your head, to all to the Kevin Dunns and all of them, you're like, what now?
Seriously, these days, the words of people like Kevin Dunn and Vince Russo, and even your Jim Cornettes, they're all, well, we see how much they're worth these days. Whoever it's coming from, change is coming. Change is here. I'm convinced of that. And it's resulting in a much stronger show and much stronger looking champions. And thankfully, they have finally recognized the strength that someone like Kevin Owens brings to the table, which is a very, very promising sign in my eyes.
And honestly, just the final shot with Triple H walking down, staring down Foley, and just barely glancing at Stephanie and just walking off like a badass. I was like,
that's the Triple H I like. Get off the back best for business stuff and just bring back the badass who comes out, does whatever he wants, and then just walks away while staring down people.
It's just like really wonder, like, what does this mean? Is this like them doing an NXT kind of invasion, making the NXTs like we're more than just a third brand, we're just as important as Raw and SmackDown?
I don't think it's so much that. I heard someone else propose a different idea, where instead of making the Triple H Owens relationship more like the way he did it with Seth Rollins, almost like a teacher and a subordinate, instead they want to see someone propose the idea of doing like another two-man power trip, where it's Triple H and Kevin Owens sort of teaming up and doing something together. Because again, you saw the way he looked at Mick Foley and Stephanie. So what could this mean? It looks like there is no unified authority, quote unquote, anymore. So maybe this definitely means something else. It's just a matter of what's next.
A Raw Civil War.
Give me Triple H versus Seth Rollins.
It's like Triple H's Raw versus Stephanie's Raw. Like, oh yeah, remember, Steph, you and I were partners in this, and now I just you guys just give me the cold shoulder? To hell with that. I'm taking this shit over, and I'm declaring my own champion. I'm taking the Universal title, and there's nothing you two can do about it. Kevin Owens is my guy. You can keep Seth Rollins as your guy, the whiny little bitch. I'm speaking from Triple H, or speaking as Triple H, the whiny little bitch. And now I have a fighting champion that people want, a prize fighting champion, and I just gave the man his prize. Boom.
So, either way, this whole thing has everyone buzzing, and it definitely succeeded in making Raw must-see TV for next week.
And I guess since everyone else put their 2 cents on it with Vince Russo, if you think this is rock bottom, then you have no idea what you're talking about, you dumb shit. Moving on.
Yeah, don't even get me started on Vince Russo. I got nothing
If you
to
think
add.
that David Arquette was actually a better champion than Kevin Owens, you are just high.
No, he didn't say anything about better champion. He said David Arquette was more over than Kevin Owens will ever be. And I was like, are you fucking new?
Yes, David Arquette is a celebrity. He's not a wrestler. That's your problem. That's the one thing that just nailed the coffin to WCW. Why are we still talking about this? Moving on. We don't need to talk about that garbage.
Well, speaking of, again, this one just really amused me. What did you guys think of The New Day teaming up with Bayley against the Club and Dana Brooke.
Bayley was having way too much fun.
Bayley and the New Day actually worked well together. They fit perfectly. I don't like Dana Brooke and the Club.
I honestly like them.
Did you see Luke Gallows' wife on Twitter?
Oh, yes. Yes, I
went off.
Yes.
I did not.
Yeah, she went all off.
It was great.
It was actually hilarious.
This I did not see.
But
Tell us a little bit about that.
Someone asked her how she felt about Dana Brooke joining up with the Club. And she was like, "I'll kill a bitch."
That's pretty much the gist of it.
I was like, as soon as I saw that tweet, I was like, Vince McMahon, sign her immediately. Do it now.
And this is what? Anderson's wife or Gallows' wife?
Gallows' wife.
Oh yeah. Well, I think she can. She's actually a worker, right?
Yeah. Amber O'Neil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
So
yeah, I'm like, bring her in.
Mm-hmm.
Put her with the Club. Makes more sense.
I honestly hate what they're doing with the Club now. I don't like it at all. It kind of takes the like big threat legitimacy away from them being pretty much a comedy act.
I wouldn't go quite to the level of a comedy act.
They had segment where they made up a name that came out old fart.
There's a difference of
That's a comedy act.
That is a comedy segment. Doesn't necessarily make the Club a comedy act. Santino is a comedy act.
They turned the Club into a comedy act.
Dr. Gallows and Anderson, okay. I liked it. Ring postitis was catchy. So it's like, okay.
With the first segment, I agree.
So it's like, okay. And but I didn't think that they were going to continue it. I like the Club more, like the way they came in.
I liked when they came in and took out the Dudleys.
And just were taking people out. I agree with Tarek. The last month and 2 weeks, they have been a comedy act. It's one thing if it's a comedy segment like one time, maybe two, to get a storyline over. That's why I was okay with it last month when they did the whole ring postitis thing. It actually went into the pay-per-view. It had a point. Okay, now it's like, get away from that, please. That's my my thought is I want the Club, not Dr. Gallows and Anderson.
And you know what? To me, it just hasn't hit that maximum density point yet. The fact that they're still doing this, but they're also doing it as almost an extension of their same feud with the New Day, plus they also add a little bit of freshness with that whole intergender factor and angle to it. It still keeps it fresh for me.
The intergender was just a one-time deal. It's not like Dana Brooke is not an official member of the Club.
And you know what? It's that too also contributes to that whole to the whole feeling that this is just like a one-off thing and it's got a very limited shelf life. If it keeps going like this into the Club's next feud, then I will be on board with, you know what, this is going perhaps a little bit too far. But given the fact that it's the New Day, it just, for me personally, hasn't quite gotten to that limit just yet. And for what it was, for just this one segment alone, I enjoyed the hell out of it. Honestly, I really did.
I really wish I could see it from your point of view, but I'm just trying to think, like, if you're trying, like, you can't have the heel team go down to the same level as the face team.
And I don't like Dana Brooke.
I don't like Dana Brooke either.
That botch. That dropkick botch, though. Wow.
It's honestly, for me, it's a toss-up. Like, who's greener, her or Nia Jax?
Her. She can't put somebody's foot on the rope. Dana Brooke. Okay.
It's like both of them have reached the one point. It's like Nia Jax couldn't even do her finishing maneuver right this past week. She like almost completely botched her finishing move.
But that's something I'll forgive. I'll forgive that. You can't put Charlotte's foot on the bottom rope. You can't do it. The easiest thing as a manager that you can do on the outside of the ring is put your person's foot on the rope.
Oh, this is in the past. I'm like
Dana Brooke.
Okay.
Dana Brooke needs to go back to NXT. I'm sorry.
I agree.
Don't give me the It needs to happen. She is the botch queen as of right now. And yes, I'm including Eva Marie in that. No, you're not gonna convince me.
I don't need to convince you. That's the beauty of this. We're not done out of the woods yet. Again, you don't need to take my word for it. You don't have to share my enthusiasm. Just
or your optimism,
or that either. Just wait and see. It's a work in progress.
I'm usually
Dana
a
Brooke's
glass.
been a work in progress for 7 months.
I'm usually a glass half full kind of person, but I can see bullshit when it is. And Dana Brooke right now is just that fresh pile of shit. I can't. I honestly don't
like
take
at least
her
when
seriously.
she was with Emma, the whole thing made sense. Like Emma and
It's still the same factor with her in-ring ability. It made sense with both of them being put together, but it's still the fact of she's still a fresh cut green grass.
Then Emma got hurt, and they didn't know what to do with Dana Brooke, so they're just shuffling her around now. I was like, if you brought her up with Emma gets hurt, Dana Brooke goes back down. Simple.
Honestly, if Charlotte needed a protege, I actually would have chose Alexa Bliss as her protege.
Yeah.
It actually fit a lot better than just having the big muscular, big bosom.
Especially with Alexa Bliss's character.
I see no problem with that.
Greener than a green light.
As
Dana Brooke.
Especially with Alexa Bliss's character that she's been playing as a heel. That it fits way more. Dana Brooke fit with Emma. I did not feel that she fit with Charlotte. I certainly don't feel that she fits with the club. That came out of nowhere, and I was like, oh. But, so I was like, I said it when Emma went down, and Dana Brooke came out to help Charlotte. I was like, why are you here? Go back down to NXT and get more experience. She proved me right when she screwed up
that finish, yeah.
When she screwed up the foot on the rope, and she's botched horribly in every single match that she's had. Okay, at least Nia Jax in her squash matches, yeah, she screwed up the last one, but the other two have been squash matches, and she's hit her moves. We've moved on. We've moved on to the next.
I will give it to Nia Jax. At least she can actually be in the same ring as Bayley.
Yeah, for me, this might be going far.
Dana Brooke should not be in the same ring as Charlotte and Bayley.
This might be going too far, but this is where my mind is at right now.
Oh boy.
Viewing Dana Brooke is Raw's version of Eva Marie. That's where I'm going. I've said it. I've put it out there. There's no taking it back. I'm not going to do it. She is the botch queen. At least Eva Marie stays out of the ring. That this whole storyline.
I think it's only because Eva Marie stays out of the ring. I'm having trouble agreeing with you. Like, I haven't seen her wrestle recently, so I can't even make that assumption.
I saw her at WrestleMania.
Post-train.
I saw her at I watched the WrestleMania pre-show, and I still hate her. Okay, but she wasn't half bad in that match, Eva Marie. But it's one of those things, I can't get behind Dana Brooke at all because she is the women's division Sin Cara.
Well, again, no matter how you slice this, I'm convinced it's just a one-off. So anything that happened in this match just plain doesn't bother me.
Yeah, please let it be
Something
a one-off.
new has got.
If she comes out with them next week, I'm gonna shit all over it.
Well, I don't think they're gonna come in next week. I just want Gallows and Anderson to stop pulling this comedy act and be the legit, like, you can't have a heel comedy act and a face comedy act. You need to have a face comedy act and a serious heel, and like a strong, dominant heel team.
Yeah, like, it was okay.
Like I kind of forgave the fact that it had to take Big E to get them disqualified to have them keep the titles. But like, the best thing that they did since then was just take out the Dudley Boys. But when they actually do promos, they're a joke, or they're being put on as a joke.
Yeah.
The joke aspect has to go.
Well, then again, that could also be a part of their characters. Like, to me, that's almost like if it's done in the right style, it can also be almost like a throwback to the NWO, where it's a bunch of tough guys just trying to mess with each other, like making each other laugh. Like, just because jokes are present doesn't make them a joke, if that makes sense.
If that's the case, it's pretty much them doing their own inside joke without none of the fans getting it. And if that's the case, then just don't do the inside joke.
But except it's not really an inside joke so much as, like, if they're a heel team, they almost act like a group of bullies. That's how the NWO worked. That's how the original Bullet Club worked.
I don't see bullies with this concept.
Well, I'm not saying it works. I'm saying that's what I can see them going for.
It's not working. If that's what they're going for, then Broken Mirror.
In a WWE PG era, sort of, we need to find something to do with these guys type of way. Hey, it's imperfect. We knew it wasn't. I'm pretty much sure that it wasn't going to be perfect as soon as these guys came to WWE, but it's a step. Whether or not it's in the right direction, well, we have no choice but to sort of take a seat back and see. But in the meantime, that's Raw. Elsewhere on Smackdown, we got a little something going on here. We got a little bit of a tag team tournament going on, which I'm honestly kind of interested in for a couple reasons. Well, first off, we actually had the Hype Bros advancing in the tournament, going over the Vaudevillains. I feel so bad for the Vaudevillains.
What did the Vaudevillains do? Well,
Simon Gotch.
Other than that fight with Sin Cara, because seriously,
how long
could they get punished for that?
Remember, this is the WWE. The WWE holds a grudge. You haven't seen Sin Cara on TV since, I think. And Simon Gotch his team loses. That punishment can go on until the end of time. You know how the WWE works. Triple H got punished for that. Triple H got punished for that Click reunion, and he didn't get back on track for a year and a half. So,
but it comes to the point where we need good, legit heel tag teams on SmackDown. And when you have someone like the Ascension and the Vaudevillains, that's not really a dominant heel team. I heard rumors that they're turning the Usos heel, but one heel tag team?
Yeah.
Or one legit heel tag team? You need to build up your superstars. And yes, I understand they want to punish Simon Gotch for fighting Hunakara, but there's only so far you can go. I mean, it's not like it's not like Sin Cara, Hunakara is a main eventer that this is a huge deal.
Well,
it's not like Titus O'Neil grabbing Vince McMahon. Granted, we had some issues with that one too. But at least it's the boss. It's not Kevin Nash. It's not Scott Hall, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H. It's Sin Cara.
Well, I see this sort of in the similar vein as the SmackDown Women's Division, where it's still relatively new, and the whole league for that specific brand is still being established, and the sort of the pecking order is still being clarified and fleshed out. So that I'm really not worried about that. I'm a little surprised that the Hype Bros are advancing in this tournament.
Yeah, they're not going to last.
Because let's face it, we already know what the finals for this tournament is going to be.
Oh, I think I even I even said it when they announced it. When they announced the whole team, I'm like, no matter who, it's going to be American Alpha versus Heath Slater and Rhino.
I don't even think it's going to be that.
Well, you think it's going to be the Usos versus Heath Slater and Rhino?
If they want to,
because it's the Usos versus the Team Alpha next, or American Alpha next.
Then it's okay. So it'll be American Alpha versus Heath Slater and Rhino. It will be
because it's the Hype Bros. Versus...
I didn't realize that the Usos were. I thought.
Yeah,
that
I don't have the brackets in front of me.
Yeah,
I don't even need the brackets. It's all up here.
I thought from the way that they did the pay-per-view preview show, they were building up the Usos to turn on American Alpha. So I thought that they were gonna do that in the final, just have the Usos completely heel out in the finals of the tournament.
But yeah, brackets is the Usos versus American Alpha and Hype Bros versus Rhino and Heath Slater.
So American Alpha will face off against Heath Slater and Rhino. American Alpha will win, and we'll be back to we'll be back to Heath Slater trying to get a job in no time.
But before
which is one of the best storylines going in WWE right now. Heath Slater wants a home.
But before we actually keep on moving there, I want to talk about who Slater and Rhino beats to advance in this tournament, which I did not see coming at all. Of course, I'm talking about the return of the headbangers of all teams.
Who promptly bloody up Rhino.
Honestly, I missed that. What the hell happened that bloodied up Rhino so much?
I thought something was wrong with my TV or something like that, or something wrong with the signal I was getting. It was like, wait a minute, Rhino looks really bloody. Wait, is he bleeding? No.
He actually is. And it's not from the cheese crackers he was eating at Heath Slater's.
That was so weird.
I was like, okay, you know what? Heath Slater and Rhino, I hope they keep them together as a tag team. And because that was funny, and I actually don't mind the Headbangers coming back, and I hope they actually now that they're back, okay, now we got the full Headbangers coming back. I want them to kind of evolve.
Except I don't think they're officially back.
I think it was a one-off.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that they were actually put on the official roster.
Were they?
That's what I saw.
I saw reports saying that was just a one-off thing.
Is it?
At the time.
Oh, well, I guess we'll look more into that because I saw them being put on the official roster.
Yeah, trust me, I would love that.
It felt like a one-off thing. I would love to see the Headbangers back in action, but that felt like a one-off performance.
Yeah, I would love to see him back again, but at the same time...
I look at that more as clearing the ring rust that they had.
Yeah, and they seemed pretty solid as soon as they got back in the ring. It's like time stood still, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just something about it just seemed weird. I was really glad to see him. And another thing, why'd they change their music?
Honestly, I don't know.
I love they had one of the best themes.
That was what made them. Really, the Headbangers theme song. Everyone always got hyped up when the Headbangers theme song came out.
I can see them staying on for maybe a good year, like the Dudleys.
Yeah, I would love it if they got a Dudleys run. And
like I said, have them evolve their characters a bit because what they were in the '90s were pretty much '90s. was a '90s stable, so I would like to see them kind of evolve their Headbangers character a little bit, and not have a lowdown reunion.
D'Lo and Chaz.
Good Lord. But there's nothing more else to say about the tag team division. I kind of want to go with what you said earlier, what you said about the fresh divas. We can't say that word anymore. Women's division for
okay,
SmackDown.
It's still new.
Honestly, really looking at it again, looking at who they have and what they're doing, there is nothing here. There's no Sasha Banks versus Charlotte of the SmackDown women's roster. There's no real, I guess I could say, big names. I mean, the biggest name they have is Becky Lynch, and they're kind of pushing her to the ground booking her like a complete idiot. It's like, oh, one of my opponent is attacking my other opponent at Backlash. What's going on? Oh no, roll up! Seriously, oh my God, I love Becky Lynch to death, and I'm sorry, I could just tell in your eyes, Brian, you just want to tell me to shut up, but you can't deny Becky Lynch is really being booked terribly here.
Yeah, it's true. The last couple of weeks.
The last couple of months.
Oh yeah. Well, I like the Becky Natalia.
I like the Becky Natalia thing too, but it's still the point when you look at it. It's once again Becky Lynch having a friend, and it's her friend betraying her. Oh, it happened 3 times already. Okay. And now every time when there's something going on out in the ring, oh, what's that? ADD. Whoa, roll up pin. That really has been the case, and I really hate it. And now the main focus of the women's SmackDown roster is Nikki Bella. And what are they doing? Having a heel Carmella beating the crap out of her every time she shows up. I'm like, oh, gee, Nikki Bella's somewhere? Oh, where's Carmella as her shadow? Bang! Oh, yeah, there she is. Because, that's what's make good women television.
Wait, what did you say?
That makes good women wrestling television. There. I actually messed up what I said.
You spoke English this time.
What was that?
Oh, no, I just missed...
Makes good women's...
That makes good women television is what I said first. But I'm going to... Makes good women television. There,
you got
much
so
better.
Pissed off you turn into a caveman for a second there. Makes good television women.
Women television.
Makes good women television.
It's like, don't attack me like that. But yeah, like I said, they're like... When it comes to the tag team titles and, well, I guess I'll just say the women's title because the tag team titles, you got, I guess, 3 good teams because now, before it was 2, now 3 with Heath Slater and Rhino because I love the hell out of them. I just am not sold on the women's wrestling. It's, once again, I just wish that...
See, the problem is Raw got the big names for the women's division, but there's only 4 of them. There's only 4 women on the Raw roster.
Oh no, there's more.
5.
Oh, there's more. They just are not on TV, which is why, like I said so many times ever since the draft, the women's division should have been the equivalent of the cruiserweight division.
Women's division
should be one should be on one show, the other should be on the other.
The cruiserweight division should be on
SmackDown because of Daniel Bryan and Mauro Ranallo, and the women's division should be on Raw. Because you have someone like Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Bayley,
and all 4 of them have said they want a 4 horsewomen match at WrestleMania.
It's impossible now.
Yeah, you can't do it.
And nothing's impossible. If one higher up decides, oh yeah, this is a good idea, or yeah, we want to pull the trigger on this.
Have it be a Raw versus SmackDown.
They can write some sort of stupid reason to pull it off. That's we're not limited by actual real life.
But yeah,
limitations like branding or anything like that. This is all. If Vince wants it to happen, it can happen.
And it's like I told you last week. It's now because they're having the cruiserweight division. They're obviously going to make a cruiserweight belt. They're going to have Raw is going to have 5 titles, and SmackDown's going to have 4.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was concerned about with the brand split. But
which
I'm not going to get into this right now.
I would have been okay with 4 on each, but 5 and 4. It's once again why?
I could be here for hours talking about this, so I'll spare everyone else the pain.
Let's talk about the good stuff that came out of SmackDown. There were 3 good things that came out of SmackDown, in my opinion: Miz and Dolph Ziggler, Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt, and Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin, which threw a little sprinkle of AJ Styles.
And you know what? I honestly didn't like any of those things. They all fell really, really flat to me. Like the Miz thing, right out of the gates, I was like, okay, they're going to do something productive with the Miz. They're going to capitalize off of this, and it was like, and then it just transitioned that into another generic feud with Dolph Ziggler, which really didn't do anything for me. What else? Yeah, just the Bray Wyatt Randy Orton segments felt very paint by numbers. I'm sure the resulting match will be okay, But given the way they've been booking Bray Wyatt in the past, I'm not even.
That's the only thing that scares me.
Yeah, I'm not convinced of that. My heart's been broken way too many times. I don't care.
It feels like Bray Wyatt is that guy who comes in after like a superstar has a big loss, so that the superstar who just had the big loss can get his thunder back.
And then Baron Corbin versus Dean Ambrose. Thank you. I brain fart there. Yeah, I'm just not convinced. I'm just not sold that hard on Baron Corbin just yet.
Oh, I'm not sold on him either. But I'm just mainly sold on what AJ Styles on commentary.
This was more of a story match.
It was exactly
anything. It wasn't a showcase match for anybody. It was just to get to that spot where AJ Styles comes in and causes the DQ.
Either way, I've got nothing to say on any of this stuff. It didn't do anything for me.
Honestly, I said my things on Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. I said my things on Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles. You may look at it as just a generic feud, but after with what they're trying to revitalize, with what they're doing with Dolph Ziggler and what they are doing with The Miz and the Intercontinental Championship, I like it. Because I like both guys, and it's the Intercontinental Championship, and it's actually they're making it one of the top 3 storylines of SmackDown.
I sincerely hope I'm wrong.
All I'm saying for that is that The Miz needs to win.
I sincerely hope he does. I hope they're going for a little bit of a slower burn than I and maybe a few others thought he would. But I hope they definitely capitalize on Mrs. Heat and it just doesn't burn out. Because if they do let it burn out, it's going to burn out fast.
Because every time Daniel Bryan is mentioned on Twitter, in he's got to be on SportsCenter, there's The Miz to reply in a tweet, just still going off about it.
Yeah.
So
if they can keep that heat going, then great, beautiful, wonderful. But if not, then there could potentially squander a really huge opportunity.
And with how SmackDown has been going the past few weeks, I don't see them doing that. I don't see them burning out at all. Hey, I could see them actually using these to help revitalize both characters and the title.
Hey, we got a big show. Backlash, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got Backlash coming up, so here's hoping we actually start getting some payoff from all this.
It's coming up in
next week.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go. Inbound prediction show
coming
up.
What a great day.
I know, right? Of all the days to land on? Yeah, sure.
Hey. Yeah. But in the meantime, I know there's a lot of other things to talk about, but we'll blaze through them real quick with a little bit of Scholar's Quick Talk.
Indeed.
What you got for us this week?
Get your thinking caps on. It's time for some Scholar's Quick Talk. All right.
Transition zones.
All right, we'll start with one. We all seeing this ridiculous, pointless feud between Darren Young and Titus O'Neil. Here's the question. Is this feud with Darren Young and Titus O'Neil killing their WWE careers?
No. In a word, no.
Titus O'Neil, maybe. Darren Young, no.
All right. Since I've been going off about how much I'm loving the Heath Slater Rhino pairing and how it's kind of funny that they're the only ones that actually are not a tag team with a name. It's like Vaudevillains, Ascension, Hype Bros, Heath Slater and Rhino. And for this, win or loss, this tournament will give Heath Slater a contract for SmackDown Live.
I think they'll stick with the stipulation.
I think they're gonna stick with that. And if he does stick to SmackDown Live, there won't be any sort of contract signing. So it'll just stay there.
All right. We've been seeing these video packages of how they're trying to push Kurt Hawkins as the next Chuck Norris. My question, will Kurt Hawkins end up becoming another Jinder Mahal?
Yes, that's exactly what he's being groomed for. Because really, why would they just push Kurt Hawkins, of all people, just out of nowhere?
I would have thought that they would have just put him with the Hype Bros. Makes more sense, right?
It does. It really does. All right. since we were talking about Nia Jax and her squash matches and looking at these Braun Strowman and his squash matches, how much longer can these squash matches go until they lose interest with the fans?
Long enough till they start losing interest, and then they'll put them up with some sort of big up and comer.
Quite honestly, I think it's already lost interest in the fans.
When they start running out of entertaining jobbers,
the crowd rarely gives a fuck during.
Well, they're
matches.
chanting "Let's go, jobber."
Yeah,
I think that's
Some
hilarious.
Let's go, jobber.
I think that's hilarious.
Nothing's better than the Milkman on Smackdown.
What the hell was that all about?
I don't know, man.
Seriously.
He came out and I'm like, the fuck is that? And
Seriously, what was the point?
And they called him the Milkman, and I'm like, seriously?
At least they're doing with Kane, which I said that they should be doing with Kane. Just have him show up, kick ass, and leave. That's it.
Yeah, too bad it's not a guy called the Milkman.
Like, people are so confused. I'm like, why is this guy
happening?
even here?
I thought it was a fan who jumped in the ring, to be completely honest.
They wouldn't have let him talk that long if it was.
And
he stripped into his tighty whities. My God.
Man, what the hell was that?
Okay. People have been complaining all this whole time about how Neville and Sami Zayn are like in a position where they have no storylines. They're just lost in the fray, just filling in time. Do you think Neville and Sami Zayn have a better chance of succeeding in the Cruiserweight division?
That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for the Cruiserweight Classic to be over, and then Sami Zayn and Neville are going to be the leads of the Cruiserweight division.
In a word, no. Honestly, Neville might, but Sami Zayn, I don't think so. If Sami Zayn gets relegated to the Cruiserweight division, I think he's going to get lost in the shuffle.
Okay. And the last one is the one that I said is going to be on the Scholars Quick Talk from now on. This week is kind of a no-brainer, but I still want to ask, which was the better show?
Raw. Don't even have to think about it. Raw.
And the way I look at it, the only reason Raw was the better show is because of the main event. If you took the Kevin Owens winning the title out, it would have been it actually would have been just as equal as SmackDown.
Hey, that's fair.
Granted, SmackDown was just mainly a tiny bit better if you took the title match out, but it's only because Kevin Owens winning the Universal title. That match in general is the only reason why I'm saying Raw is the better show.
Well, it was also the big focal point of the show, so pretty much, in a weird way, it kind of was the entire show, which to me, it kind of counts.
Like, when you have stuff like I said, Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, and just kind of filler stuff in like that, at that point, like, I even noticed it this week. I'm like, holy crap, we went through a lot this week on Raw. It's only 9:30.
Well, that's Raw.
I was like, oh my God, what more else can they fill? And most of it has just been potty break filler.
But you know what?
But then you
whatever
have the
you want to call
awesomeness
it,
that is the main event.
But you know what? Whatever you want to call that stuff, it's always going to be there on a show that long. And not for nothing, I've gotten more out of it now than I have in years past. So.
Sure, you've gotten a lot out of Titus O'Neil and Darren Young?
No, I'm talking about how the overall quality of these quote-unquote filler segments, as you call them. I've gotten a lot more out of them than I have in other related segments in years past.
Well, I would still say SmackDown definitely has the better show, but only it's because it has the tighter time, it has the shorter time, so it has a lot left.
Any show
they use their time to work.
Any show
everything
that's 2 hours or less, of course, that's going to look like a more streamlined show compared to the 3-hour beast that Raw is nowadays. But that goes without saying.
Do you think Backlash, because SmackDown is a smaller brand, you think Backlash is going to be another 3-hour show?
It's going to be 3 hours.
Probably.
Ugh.
Pay-per-views, these shows are getting too damn long.
Pay-per-view shows will always be 2.5 to 3 hours.
I would give 2.5. But man, just thinking with what they have on SmackDown, they don't have a lot to work with, and
The Miz and Dolph Ziggler can go 20 minutes to 30 minutes. Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles can go 20 to 30 minutes. Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton can go 20 to 30 minutes.
And then you have the tag team tournament, or the finals at least.
Yeah, you have the finals. You have the six-pack challenge. They can fit that in 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
If they do it right, yeah, and then make it worth everyone's time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not honestly not worried about the length at all or whatever. Not like a SummerSlam or a WrestleMania or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be.
We've already made that clear how ridiculous that is.
Oh yes, yep. In the meantime, is that all the Scholars Quick Talk for this week?
That's it.
All right. Well, we've given you guys our opinion. We want to know what you think next. So, of course, drop us a line through all the usual means. Leave us a comment on this video. If you like what you hear, give us a little thumbs up, or even subscribe if you want to hear more. Of course, you can also find us on Facebook. Just run a search for the Scholars of Wrestling Show. Join the conversation with us. Also on our Twitter machines. Follow us at ScholarsOW, our main accounts for all of the latest uploads every single week of all of our episodes. Or in case you want to follow us live for live tweets and discussion and all that fun stuff, you can follow us on our personal Twitter accounts. Fool, where can they reach you at?
You can find me at the Avataric.
Brian.
At Atomic Beanpole.
And you can reach me at I'm Robbie Rage. All one word, I am Robbie Rage. Whew. Well, that was another week in the books, week in wrestling. And we're only 1 week away from Backlash. So,
let the massive amount of pay-per-views begin.
You know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome. See you next week for Backlash.
Next week will be the Kevin Owens Show.
Here's to being alive.
That's it, Kevin Owens Show.